When you begin to cultivate mindfulness and inner stillness, you open a doorway into the deepest layers of your being. In the rush of everyday life, the mind becomes cluttered with thoughts, worries, expectations, and old emotional patterns. But beneath all that noise, there is a quiet, unwavering presence within you, a presence that has been waiting to be acknowledged. Stillness is not something you find, it is something you uncover. It is already there, resting beneath the turbulence of your mind, like the calm ocean floor beneath stormy waves. And the moment you allow yourself to settle into it, even for a few minutes, your entire inner world begins to shift. When you sit quietly and bring your attention to your breath, you are not simply relaxing, you are reconnecting with your essence. The breath becomes a bridge between the physical body and the inner self. With each inhale, you draw in clarity and expansion. With each exhale, you release layers of tension, emotional residue, and mental clutter that you may not even realize you're holding. In these moments of awareness, you begin to experience yourself not as the roles you play or the challenges you face, but as a conscious presence, awake, aware, and whole. As your awareness deepens, the mind naturally begins to slow down. Thoughts may still arise, but they lose their grip on you. You become the observer, witnessing your thoughts rather than becoming entangled in them. This gentle shift in perception is profoundly healing. Stress, tension, and emotional reactivity often come from identifying too closely with the stream of thoughts that passes through the mind. When you take a step back and watch them from a place of neutrality, you create space. With space comes freedom, and with freedom comes the ability to choose peace over chaos, clarity over confusion. Inner stillness is not about suppressing thoughts or forcing the mind to be quiet. It is about allowing everything to be exactly as it is, without resistance. In stillness, you discover that peace is not the absence of noise. It is the calm awareness that remains untouched by noise. It is an inner sanctuary that the world cannot disturb. From this sanctuary, you begin to navigate life with more grace. Your reactions soften. Your burdens feel lighter. You see situations more clearly and respond rather than react. You begin to feel in harmony with yourself and everything around you. As you practice this each day, even for a few minutes, you will notice subtle yet powerful changes unfolding in your life. Your body relaxes more easily. Your sleep improves. Your emotional resilience strengthens. You feel more grounded, more centered, more at ease. The nervous system, which is often overwhelmed by constant stimulation, begins to settle. When the nervous system is calm, the body enters a state of repair and regeneration. Stillness, therefore, becomes not just a mental or spiritual practice. It becomes a physical healing practice as well. Your body listens to your mind, and when the mind becomes peaceful, the body follows. In these moments of mindful presence, you reconnect with your intuition. You begin to hear the whispers of your inner guidance. Guidance that is always available, but often drowned out by the noise of daily life. Decisions become clearer, creativity flows more naturally. You begin to sense what is right for your life, not from fear or pressure, but from deep inner knowing. This intuitive wisdom arises from stillness, and when you learn to trust it, you start living from a place of authenticity and alignment. As you deepen this connection with stillness, you may also begin to notice a sense of gentle expansion within you, a feeling of openness, spaciousness, or even lightness. This is your true nature awakening, not the restless mind, but the quiet awareness behind it. And as this awareness grows, it naturally radiates into every part of your life. Your relationships become more compassionate. Your interactions become more meaningful. You begin to see the beauty in ordinary moments. The miracle is hidden in simplicity. Life stops feeling like something you must manage or endure and begins to feel like something you can experience fully with clarity and presence. This is the power of embracing mindfulness and inner stillness. It is not a luxury or an escape, it is a return to yourself, a return to the source of peace that has always been within you. When you nurture this inner connection, you awaken the natural intelligence of your mind and body. You begin to live not from habit or fear, but from awareness, intention, and truth. And this simple practice of stillness becomes the foundation for profound transformation in every area of your life. Let your stillness heal you from within. When you begin to nourish your body consciously, you realize that eating is not merely a physical act. It is a sacred exchange of energy between you and the universe. Every bite you take carries an intention, a vibration, a message that your body responds to. When you choose foods that are fresh, natural, and alive, you are sending your body a message of vitality, clarity, and balance. But when food is consumed unconsciously, when it is rushed, processed, or disconnected from awareness, the body receives that message too. Your body is always listening, always responding, always adapting to the quality of energy it receives. When you slow down and bring presence to the act of nourishing yourself, something remarkable happens. You begin to feel your body's intelligence more clearly. You sense what foods support your energy and which ones drain it. You realize that eating is not about restriction or discipline, it is about harmony. It is about finding the rhythm that your unique body naturally aligns with. Each body has its own language, its own way of communicating hunger, satisfaction, imbalance, and need. When you listen deeply, when you allow your awareness to guide your choices, you begin to nourish yourself in a way that feels effortless and intuitive. The body thrives on foods that are close to the earth: fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, herbs, foods that carry life force, prana chi. These foods not only nourish the tissues, they nourish the mind. They create clarity, sharpness, and emotional stability. When you eat with awareness, you begin to notice how your mood shifts based on the quality of what you consume. Heavy foods create heaviness in the mind. Light foods create lightness in the heart. Foods filled with artificial chemicals scatter your energy, while natural, vibrant foods bring coherence and balance. The body does not lie, it communicates instantly after each meal. And when you pay attention, you discover that nourishment is a relationship, one that can heal you or one that can exhaust you. Hydration plays an equally important role. Water is the carrier of life within you. It cleanses, refreshes, and rejuvenates your cells. When you drink consciously, slowly, intentionally, you invite vitality to flow through your entire system. Warm water, herbal teas, and natural infusions support digestion, improve circulation, and calm the nervous system. The simple act of hydrating with awareness becomes a form of self-respect, a reminder that your body is a living ecosystem that deserves to be cared for with gentleness. As you continue to nourish your body mindfully, you begin to sense subtle shifts. Digestion becomes smoother, energy becomes more consistent, sleep feels deeper and more restorative. Your mind becomes clearer, more decisive, more grounded. When the body receives what it needs, it responds with gratitude in the form of increased vitality. You begin to feel lighter, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally. Clarity becomes your natural state. Calmness becomes your foundation. Eating consciously also invites you to become aware of your emotional patterns around food. Many people use food as comfort, distraction, or escape without realizing it. When you eat slowly and with presence, these patterns reveal themselves. You begin to see when you are eating because the body is hungry and when you are eating because the mind is restless. With awareness, emotional eating naturally softens. There is no force or judgment, only understanding. And from understanding comes transformation. Nourishing yourself goes beyond the plate. It includes the environment in which you eat. A peaceful, quiet, uncluttered space allows your body to digest with ease. Eating without screens or distractions helps your nervous system settle. Sharing meals with people who uplift you enhances the energy of the food itself. These small shifts create an atmosphere of harmony that your body recognizes instantly. When you eat in calmness, your body absorbs nourishment more efficiently. When you eat in stress, even healthy food becomes difficult to process. As you deepen this practice, you begin to develop a profound respect for your body. You realize that your body is not separate from your consciousness, it is an expression of it. Every choice you make is an act of communication with yourself. Nourishing yourself consciously becomes an act of love. It becomes a ritual of honoring the life within you. Through this mindful nourishment, you begin to cultivate not just physical health, but emotional clarity and spiritual alignment. Your relationship with food becomes a relationship with life itself. Every meal becomes an opportunity to reconnect, to realign, to return to balance. And as you continue this journey, you discover that conscious nourishment is one of the most powerful ways to awaken your inner healing intelligence. It allows your body to move toward wholeness, your mind toward clarity, and your spirit toward expansion. Let your nourishment elevate your life from the inside out. When you begin the process of emotional cleansing, you open yourself to one of the most profound forms of healing available to you. Emotions are not simply fleeting reactions, they are energetic imprints that shape your inner world. Many of us carry unresolved feelings from childhood, past relationships, disappointments, and moments of fear or uncertainty. These unhealed emotions settle into the body, influencing the way you think, behave, and even the way your body functions. The mind and body are inseparable, constantly communicating with one another. When emotions are suppressed, ignored, or pushed away, they don't disappear. They simply settle deeper, waiting for acknowledgement. Emotional cleansing begins with awareness. It begins with the willingness to meet yourself where you are, without judgment. When an emotion arises, be it sadness, irritation, frustration, fear, or even joy, it is an invitation to connect more deeply with your inner world. Instead of resisting or labeling the emotion as good or bad, allow yourself to observe it. Notice where it sits in your body. Notice how your breath changes. Notice the thoughts that accompany it. This simple act of witnessing transforms the emotion from something overwhelming into something understood. Awareness dissolves resistance, and resistance is what keeps emotions stuck. When you give yourself permission to feel, you create space for release. Many people are afraid to face their emotions because they fear being consumed by them. But emotions are temporary waves. They rise, crest, and fall. It is only when we hold on to them, suppress them, or deny them that they linger. When you breathe into an emotion and allow it to move through you, it naturally completes its cycle. This is the beginning of emotional freedom. You are no longer controlled by what you feel. You become the conscious observer guiding the experience. Journaling can be a powerful tool in this process. When you write down your emotions, your thoughts, your fears, and your desires, you create a bridge between the inner world and the outer one. The process of writing helps untangle emotions that feel knotted or unclear. It brings things to the surface with clarity. You begin to see patterns, repetitive fears, old stories that no longer serve you, beliefs that were formed in moments of pain but have been carried for years. When you see them clearly, you can finally release them. Meditation also plays a vital role in emotional cleansing. When you enter a state of silence, you create the conditions for suppressed emotions to rise gently and naturally. In the quiet spaces of your mind, whatever needs to be healed will reveal itself. With each breath, you invite emotional energy to flow. With each exhale, you let go of what no longer belongs in your system. Meditation softens the walls built around the heart. It allows compassion to take root. It transforms emotional heaviness into lightness. Forgiveness is another essential element. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or condoning what happened. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of the past. When you hold resentment, anger, or hurt, you lock your energy into the moment you were wounded. But when you choose forgiveness, not for others but for your own peace, you release that tether. You reclaim your power. You make space for healing, love, and expansion. Emotional cleansing also involves practicing compassion toward yourself. Many people are harsh with themselves, judging their emotions as weaknesses or flaws. But the truth is, your emotions are the most honest reflection of your inner state. They reveal where healing is needed, where boundaries must be placed, where love must be given. Being gentle with yourself, especially during times of emotional intensity, is a powerful act of self-care. You are not meant to carry your burdens alone. You are meant to release them, learn from them, and grow beyond them. As you continue this journey, you will begin to sense subtle but profound shifts. The body becomes lighter, the mind becomes clearer, and the heart becomes more open. You begin to feel aligned with your true nature. You no longer react from old wounds or unresolved pain. Instead, you respond from a place of clarity and awareness. Life begins to feel less chaotic, less overwhelming. You move through experiences with a sense of calm strength. Even challenges become easier to navigate because your emotional foundation is stable and balanced. Through emotional cleansing, you reconnect with your authenticity. You rediscover the innocence, openness, and resilience that have always lived within you. You begin to trust your inner voice, your intuition, your natural wisdom. You feel more connected to others, more compassionate, more grounded in love. Emotional freedom is not about escaping difficult feelings, it is about learning to move with them gracefully. Let your emotional clarity become the bridge to your inner freedom. When you begin to align yourself with purpose and positive energy, something inside you awakens, a sense of direction, clarity, and inner stability that can't be shaken by external circumstances. Purpose is not something you need to search for in the outside world. It is something that is already present within you, gently waiting for your recognition. Every person carries a unique inner calling, a natural inclination towards certain experiences, actions, and expressions. When you start listening to that subtle inner voice, life becomes less about effort and more about flow. The moments when you feel most alive, most connected, most inspired, those are the signposts pointing you toward your purpose. Purpose does not always arrive as a grand revelation. Sometimes it begins as a whisper, a quiet pull of curiosity, a feeling of joy that arises when you engage in something meaningful. When you follow these subtle signals, you begin to uncover the truth of who you are. Living with purpose doesn't require dramatic changes or radical decisions. It simply requires awareness, an awareness of what brings you peace, what brings you joy, what expands your heart. When you align with these experiences, you begin to align with the deepest truth of your existence. As you move closer to your purpose, you naturally begin to generate positive energy. Positive energy is not forced optimism. It is an inner radiance that arises from living authentically, from being in tune with your inner wisdom. When your actions, your thoughts, and your intentions are aligned, your energy field becomes coherent. You feel more grounded, you feel more empowered, you feel more connected. And this inner coherence has a profound impact not only on your emotional well-being, but on your physical health as well. The body responds to alignment with relaxation, vitality, and balance. Positive energy is cultivated through presence. When you are present, fully immersed in the moment, you become receptive to the richness of life. You begin to notice synchronicities, those seemingly magical coincidences that guide you in the right direction. You start to feel supported by life rather than weighed down by it. Presence also allows you to experience gratitude on a deeper level. Gratitude amplifies positive energy. Every moment of appreciation becomes a moment of expansion. The more you acknowledge what is going well in your life, the more you attract experiences that resonate with that vibration. As you deepen this alignment, you may begin to notice shifts in how you interact with others. When you live from purpose, your presence becomes uplifting. You radiate calmness, clarity, and sincerity. People feel your energy before you speak, they sense your intention. This kind of energy creates harmony in relationships. Conflicts soften. Communication becomes more open. Compassion becomes natural. When your inner world is aligned, your outer world begins to reflect that harmony back to you. Living with purpose also empowers you to navigate challenges with grace. When difficulties arise, as they inevitably do, you no longer feel lost or overwhelmed. Instead, you recognize challenges as stepping stones, opportunities for growth, expansion, and deeper understanding. You begin to see that every experience, no matter how uncomfortable, holds a lesson that brings you closer to your truth. Purpose gives you resilience. It reminds you that you are part of something larger, something meaningful, something sacred. Positive energy is strengthened through intention. When you set intentions each day, you direct your consciousness in a specific direction. You begin to shape your reality from the inside out. Intentions do not have to be complicated. They can be as simple as choosing peace, choosing compassion, choosing clarity. When your intention is pure, the universe responds. Life begins to organize itself in ways that support your path. People enter your life at the right time. Opportunities unfold effortlessly. Intuition becomes sharper. Serendipity becomes familiar. The more you align with purpose, the more you begin to trust yourself. You trust your decisions. You trust your timing. You trust the unfolding of your life. Trust dissolves fear. It dissolves doubt. It dissolves the need to control outcomes. When you trust, you move through life with openness and grace. You begin to understand that everything is connected, everything is meaningful, and everything is guiding you toward your highest potential. This inner alignment also deepens your sense of connection with the world around you. You realize that your purpose is not only about your personal fulfillment, it is about contributing your unique presence to the collective. Every act of kindness, every moment of awareness, every expression of your authentic self ripples outward, touching others in ways you may never fully know. When you live with positive energy, you become a source of healing, inspiration, and harmony. As you continue this journey, you will discover that purpose is not a destination, it is a way of being. It is the quiet confidence that arises when you live in alignment with your true nature. It is the light that shines from within when you express yourself sincerely. It is the peace that fills your heart when your actions reflect your deepest values. When you live with purpose and positive energy, you begin to experience life not as a series of obstacles, but as a continuous unfolding of growth, discovery, and connection. Let your purpose guide every breath you take.